Hi 3A, Miss Dowling here. I am sitting outside on the porch because it's really nice out and I need some fresh air. So I had a Zoom meeting with all of you this morning at 10:30. We're going to have another one tomorrow. And I loved seeing all of your faces. We had so many people there. There was 23 people with us, which is a huge group. And it made my whole day. I don't know about you, but I loved spending that time together. So that is something that we'll be doing daily now, and I'm looking forward to it. So we are going to continue Mr. Terupt Falls again. This is the sequel to Because of Mr. Terupt. The first video, pages 1 through 5, is on YouTube, so if you haven't, you can rewatch that if you need to catch up with us. We took a little break from this because of the other work we've been doing, but we are going to continue reading it and hopefully have this done by the end of the school year. So I am on page 6 in the perspective of Alexia. Just a quick little recap. It is the second year with Mr. Terupt. They're looping with him. So in the first book, we learned that Mr. Terupt was hit with a snowball and he ended up in a coma. So he couldn't finish the year with them, and now he has that chance. Alexia. Summer was pretty cool. The only bad part was that Mom was still waiting tables from noon to close every day. So she spent most mornings sleeping. So I was pretty much on my own. But no biggie. It'd been like that for a while now. In the beginning, I rode my bike over to the school a lot and helped teach with the classroom move. I liked doing that. Hanging with Teach was cool after spending all that time without him. I wasn't the only one around. Jessica was gone to some writing thing, and Luke was away, but Anna and Jeffrey were in the classroom a lot, and Danielle was busy on her farm but still came by often. Ms. Newberry was there every day, smiling and making Teach smile, and of course there was also Peter. I loved teasing Peter. He'd try to give it back, but I always won. He was a good sport about it, though. It was all fun, not like mean girl stuff. And I would know. Which is true, because that was her character in the last book. So for a while, that was what I did with my summer. I'd never complain about time spent with Teach. Not after all we went through. But then one day, when I was riding home from school, I heard some voices coming from the abandoned house on the Old Woods Road. I rode past this house every day. I'd been in it before. It could be a pretty cool hangout spot, but it was kind of scary too. Dust and cobwebs, cracked window glass, a creaky floor, falling down boards and rusty nails. The place was old, real old, and probably not very safe. But I wanted to see who was in it. This doesn't really sound like a good idea to me. After leaving my bike on the grass, I crossed the porch and crept into the front of the house where there was a doorway, but no door. I tried to walk softly as I snooped around, but the boards made noises under my feet. I didn't hear them coming from behind me. "Who are you?" "Ah!" I screamed. Scared out of my mind, I spun around fast and saw 2 faces. "Sorry," the first girl said. "What are you doing here, little brat?" the second girl said. They were older, high school girls, I could tell. They were bigger than me for one, and they needed bras where I still had my flat chest. "Stop, Rena," the first girl said. "You're gonna scare her." "I'm just joking. Give me a break." Rena looked at me. "Don't worry, you can chill here, little brat." Oh, don't like that talk. She did and walked away. "I'll be in the back," she called over her shoulder. "I'm Lisa," the first girl said. "What's your name?" "Alexia, but my friends call me Lexi." "Come on, Lexi." She put her arm around me and gave me a tour of their hangout. The place wasn't dirty and creepy anymore. They cleaned it up, the back room especially. They had put some old carpet pieces on the floor, which were a lot better than the creaky boards with rusty nails. There was a green couch and a brown armchair, and then some lawn furniture. In the middle of the room, they had plywood laid across cinder blocks for a table, and they had a few blankets tacked over the windows for a little privacy or secrecy. So it sounds like these two girls have been playing or using this abandoned house on the street, and no one knows. But now Lexi does, because she ventured on in and found them. Lisa was very pretty. She had dark hair and tight curls cropped close to her head. It looked good, especially with her dark maroon lipstick. She had a nice body that she showed off in short shorts and a tank top. "Grab a seat, Lexi, you can chill with us," Lisa said. I accepted her invite, not wanting to be rude and not wanting to make them mad. I sat down in the brown armchair. Rena was already sitting on the couch, and something told me not to sit next to her. I stared at the floor because I wasn't sure what else to do. "Hey, you're back," Lisa said. I looked up and saw her walk over to kiss the sweaty boy who just arrived. "Who's this?" he said, nodding at me. "Alexia," Lisa said, but her friends call her Lexi. "Hey, Alexia," the boy said. "I'm Brandon." He nodded towards the couch, "And that's Rena over there." "They've already met," Lisa said. "Brandon's a big bad football player and wrestler," Rena teased. He made a face at her. "That's right," he said. "I am. And I just got done with a run." He looked at me now. "I'm starting my training." That's my cool wrestler, football player kind of voice. "Oh," I said. "He sure seemed big and bad." When I looked over at Rena, she had her lips curled around a cigarette. She was as pretty as Lisa, but she made me really nervous. "Hey, Lexi, want one?" Rena said, holding out another cigarette. "Or are you a little goody two-shoes?" Okay. Wow. Mr. Terupt Falls Again is off to a really crazy start. Lots of craziness is happening. I think this book is going to be a lot about peer pressure. Right off the bat, we're going to stop here. We're on page 9, by the way, if you're following along. Right off the bat, we have a really bad situation. Alexia, who is pretty vulnerable, and what that means is last year she went through a lot, didn't she? And she's grown a lot. She's become a much better version of herself. She's not as dramatic. She's trying to get along with people. She's working really hard in school. She's come a long way. And now she's being introduced to these 3 characters who I don't think are a good influence on her. What are your thoughts? Let me know what you think, because what they just offered her is terrible. That's just mind-blowing to me. And I've told you this in class too. You're going to come across things in your life that are offered to you that you just need to say no and walk away from. And you need to be the light in a dark place. And that you're all going to have those opportunities in life one day. And you need to stay strong to who you are in your heart and be a good example to other people. So hopefully Lexi stays strong through this peer pressure, and maybe she can change them in their ways. We'll have to just see. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's read aloud. If you would like, you can use today's read aloud to journal about tomorrow, maybe, if you want to just write some thoughts down and a reflection about what we've been reading. Quick reminder, we have another Zoom meeting. It's going to be 10 o'clock tomorrow, Thursday. Make sure to be there. And again, when you're in the meeting, if I mute all of you, don't unmute yourselves. That happened a few times today, unless you raise your hand, so we can all be nice and organized in the meeting. Chapter 9 test is due today. I've gotten a lot of them back already, and they look great. I will have your grades out in a few days for the Chapter 9 test, and your mini book report is due on Friday, so make sure you're working on that too. And don't forget about IXL, Prodigy, and Raz Kids. Hopefully you're enjoying those sites. All right, everyone, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the morning.